Good morning to you all and welcome to your weekly morning show. We start with the topic of our discussion today. Artificial intelligence has become a buzzword this year, but the developments in this technology lead us to question if it is our enemy or friend. Let us unpack this with Paul Saman, expert in digital transformation in artificial intelligence, joining us via Skype. Good morning, Paul Saman.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Paul Saman. Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of artificial intelligence, said he resigned from Google to speak freely about the technology's dangers, expressing worries that AI could outsmart people far sooner than he expected and other experts. What's your opinion on this, Paul Saman?
Let's start by saying that all this hype about AI only started in October, November 2022 with the public release of ChatGPT. And since then, there is exponential development in AI. We have not only ChatGPT, we have Midjourney, we have 11 labs to clone voices. We can do deep fakes through AI. So this is only the tip of the iceberg, and that's why Geoffrey Hinton did issue that warning, and he left Google after a decade of work at Google, and he had a very high position at Google, so he decided to leave Google in order to issue warnings regarding AI. Let me say something here. At this stage, we're only working with weak AI. At this stage, this is a weak AI and not a strong AI. I think in the future, maybe by the end of the decade or maybe in 10 years, we might have something called strong AI or AI singularity. And that's the main risk in AI. And that's what Geoffrey Hinton said. It's risky, and not just Geoffrey Hinton, Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak, and a lot of scientists. By saying AI singularity, it means artificial intelligence will not only give data based on the data given by humans. It will invent, it will give ideas. And at this stage, if we want to compare the brain of a human being with the brain of AI, we can only imagine what can happen then.
All right. He also said that AI will be very good at manipulation, and he warned about the end of people, which is something that is very perhaps dramatic. How seriously should we take these statements, Paul Saman?
Of course, we need to take it seriously. As we mentioned, it's not just about Geoffrey Hinton. Around 1,000 top-notch scientists issued warnings regarding that. So we need to take it. We need to take it seriously, because at this stage, it's weak AI. The data is only being given by the AI based on what the humans are giving. But in the future, yes, robots, they might manipulate us, they might trick us, and even Geoffrey Hinton went to the second level, and he said they might eliminate us or kill us. So yes, this is dangerous, and that's why we need to take it seriously from now, because at this stage we can control AI, but in the future we might not be able to control AI. And they even asked to pause development in AI. They asked to pause development for around 6 months, and I don't think this is technically feasible. It's a warning, but it's not feasible, because if they stopped developing or pause the development in AI for around 6 months in USA, for example, I don't think China or Russia or any other country will stop the development. So they will be a step ahead from, for example, USA if USA stopped the development. So regulations are needed, legislation are needed, limitations are needed, and we need to take all of those into consideration.
Paul Saman, apart from the dangers you have just mentioned, or apart from manipulation, as he has mentioned in the statements to CNN, to BBC and other channels, what are real risks and threats and dangers of artificial intelligence, since you're saying that we are at an early stage of this technology, but what are possible dangers?
Let me give you just a simple example. For example, now in ChatGPT, bad actors can use ChatGPT, for example, to discover flaws in applications, in online applications. They can use ChatGPT to do social engineering, another application which is Midjourney. And the latest version of Midjourney, it can release images with very high resolution. I mean, you cannot even identify the real image from the fake image. And in the last month, we remember the images of Pope playing basketball, dancing, etc. And all of those images were fake. Another section, which is voice cloning. I mean, I can take any voice message for you, for example, and I can make you say anything. And this is public. There is a public application that can do that. Another section, which is deep fake. I can take any part of your video or your image, and I can produce a complete video, which is not genuine, but when you see it, you might think this is real. And what's dangerous about this is that all of those are being spread on the internet, and it's not labeled. I mean, when I see a fake picture or a genuine picture, it's not labeled, so I cannot identify what is real and what is not real in terms of images, in terms of videos, in terms of voices. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and this is what we are seeing now. So what about the future? So we can only imagine if the development is, as we said, exponential. So in the future, this will dramatically increase, and we might have the new inventions, and the new inventions will be invented by robots. So we can only imagine what robots can invent. Robots might have 100x, 1000x faster brains, smarter brains. So we can imagine what they can invent in the future.
So we should be worried about the development in this very specific technology. As you have just mentioned, Hinton is not the only one who warned who has concerns about artificial intelligence. A number of others of the community of tech leaders signed a letter in March calling for AI labs to stop training the most powerful AI systems for at least 6 months because of the profound risks they have over the society and humanity. Paul Saman, what can we do to counter this? How can we solve this problem according to your expertise?
Of course, from our part as users, we need to be aware of everything. I mean, when we see an image, when we see a video, when we hear a voice, we need to make sure that this is a genuine, I mean, or legitimate image or video or voice. This is in terms of users. This is one. Second, when we use, for example, applications like ChatGPT, for example, I'm talking about a personal experience. I never put my personal information, my personal email. Everything I do is with a fake email, because I don't know where those information are going on the cloud. So of course I use ChatGPT in my work, but I never put my personal information. This is in terms of users, of us at this stage. Now, in terms of companies, again, I don't think if some of the companies took this seriously and did a pause and did not took all the consideration while developing AI, this is very, very difficult, because if we can control this in USA, I mean, if the US agreed to do that, to do the regulations, etc., we need to make sure that other countries will do that as well. China,
we're coming
Russia,
back to that,
Singapore, etc. Yes.
Exactly. So in your opinion, so those companies only care about generating money and popularity instead of thinking about user safety and potential threats in the future, right?
Yes, exactly. We cannot control all companies. Some companies will issue that they are controlling this, etc. But we cannot control, of course, we cannot control all companies.
All right. And Joe Biden, yes, and Kamala Harris yesterday hosted AI companies' leaders to discuss risks and safeguards of the technology, and as it catches the attention of governments and lawmakers globally. Do you think that these tech companies can be part of the solution, or governments should impose regulations and just don't expect them to cooperate with the government?
Governments will need to impose regulations. For example, USA, if they did impose regulations on those companies, we cannot control technology and AI in other countries. For example, again, China, Russia, other countries. So this AI regulation should be nationwide. I mean, nations and countries should cooperate together in order to release international regulations and not just one country regulation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Saman, for your insights and for your time. And thank you, dear viewers, for making it up until here, but stay for the rest of the show.